Ravi Zacharias and I first met when I was a seminary student in Denver, Colorado, and Haddon Robinson, our then president, arranged for him to speak for 4 days, a Monday through a Thursday. We didn't typically have chapels on Monday, and so the attendance was low. That was only the first day, though. The word got out that we had an incredible speaker with us, and on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you couldn't find a seat in the place. It was an amazing experience. I had a chance to meet with him, and I said, I'm going to be going to Utah. Have you ever preached in Utah? And he said, I don't think I have. And I said, well, would you like to? And our local church up in the Ogden area, the Washington Heights Church, and about 21 other congregations had Ravi come in 1994. And it was a wonderful opportunity. He spoke twice at Brigham Young University through Dr. David Paulson and the Richard L. Evans Chair down there, and then spoke in the evenings in Ogden. 10 years ago, right after we started standing together, we asked Margie, his wife, if we could get back on the schedule for a 10th anniversary special. And he came, and as you know, he spoke in this building and really made a historic contribution to the relationship between the Mormon community and the evangelical community, and gave a powerful testimony for Christ. And we were able to speak with Margie again, and we said it's coming up for another 10-year anniversary, and we know that Ravi's getting a little older. If we got him in 214, we promise we won't bother you in 224. And she said yes. It would be hard to, like so many of you, it would be hard to express my appreciation for the teaching and the inspiration and the handling of the Word of God that Ravi Zacharias does so well. I know you've come from far and wide, and some of you are listening by internet and watching on the live streaming. We're all in for a treat tonight. Prepare your heart to be inspired, and let your heart be opened so that the Lord can speak to you tonight through one of his servants, Ravi Zacharias. Thank you, Ravi, for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Greg, I should let you on to a little secret about 2024. Some years ago, I wrote a book that I felt would not be wise to release right now, because I speak in parts of the world where if it were released, my life might be threatened a bit. That gives you enough of a clue. So I wrote about it, and I made a contract with the publisher that it would be released posthumously. So they took the contract, took the manuscript, did everything. And all of a sudden, one day I saw in one of their magazines the title of my book, and it said to be released in 2023. So, it's a true story, I didn't make it up. So hurriedly I contacted my representative, my agent, and asked him if he knew something that I didn't know, because I'd like to get my house back in order. So if indeed that was some prognostication, 2024, it wouldn't be good anyway by 2023. I might be looking down from another part of this world.
I started the ministry of Standing Together in 2001. And no doubt, the coolest thing that we've had the privilege of doing in our almost 20 years of being a ministry here in Salt Lake City and along the Wasatch Front was hosting Ravi Zacharias not once but twice in a major address at the Mormon Tabernacle on Temple Square. We did it first in 2004 when we began our work, and then we did it later in 2014. And those two messages are awesome. And as a result of those two messages, so many people have heard of Ravi, and he has been such a blessing to our organization and the work that we've been doing. I personally am so grateful for his influence in our life and his support of our ministry. It kind of made me think recently, in light of his recent passing, that there are so many great quotes that Ravi is responsible for, so many great statements he's made in sermon after sermon. And three in particular that kind of stand out for me are ones that I wanted to share with you today. And I hope they're encouraging to you as well in what they teach and in how they challenge. When I first heard Ravi speak in 1991 at Denver Seminary, he said something I never have forgotten. He said, the loneliest moment in life is when you've just experienced that which you thought would be the ultimate, and yet somehow it lets you down. So in other words, the person who's pursuing and pursuing and pursuing some big goal in their life, $1 million, this woman, this man, this accomplishment, this success, this achievement, whatever it is in the area of sports or politics or business or whatever. And you get it. And you get that feeling for a moment of, I've arrived, I've done it, I've accomplished all that I wanted to accomplish, and yet somehow it lets you down. That indeed is the loneliest moment in life. And Ravi said that because there is nothing that could fill a person's life in a more meaningful way than the person of Jesus Christ. And when we try to fill that part of our life up with material success or some accomplishment, it lasts for a moment, but it doesn't last for long. And as soon as we achieve one thing, we want to achieve another thing. But when we find Christ, we're satisfied forever from that point forward. And I've never forgotten that quote. Another quote that really speaks to the heart of our organization and our ministry here in Utah is the line that he said is that when you're sharing truths with somebody, remember never to throw mud. Because when you throw dirt or mud, you tend to lose ground and you get dirty in the process. What a great word picture. The idea that, somebody is just chucking mud or dirt at somebody else to challenge them or to rebuke them or to make a point against them, and you're just chucking dirt and you're making somebody look bad and you're trying to confront them and all that. But in the process, really, you're getting dirty yourself. You're looking like a mean person. You're looking kind of hateful and spiteful, and you're losing ground. Your credibility is sinking beneath you, and you're not gaining in the argument. You're actually losing because you've been a mud thrower. Never have forgotten that great piece of advice. And not too far removed from it is when Ravi said many times, when truth is not undergirded by love, the message we preach becomes repulsive, and the person who preaches it is seen as obnoxious. Boy, doesn't that make sense? When we share truth without love, sometimes our message can seem rather repulsive, confrontational, demeaning, judgmental, even hypocritical or filled with hypocrisy. But when we share truth in love, that message becomes beautiful and gentle and kind and warm. And so it's so important to do that, because if we don't, the proclaimer of that truth, comes off as obnoxious people. We sound obnoxious. We sound holier than thou. And that doesn't help. The book of Proverbs says a person offended is harder to be won than a strong city. So when we offend somebody in the pursuit of telling them what they believe is wrong and how what we believe is right, we don't really advance the cause very much. We really end up looking obnoxious and our message becomes repulsive. Those three quotes, those three pearls of wisdom are things that have made a great difference in my life. And as I've shared them with you today, in light of the great work that Ravi Zacharias accomplished in his life and ministry, I hope they encourage you as well. God bless.